Welcome back to computer programming. In the previous video, we talked about what is a pointer. So in this video, we want to take a further look into a pointer and how does it really work. Okay, so let's do a little bit of a recap. For example, let's just say that we just declare a variable called int a. So what's going to happen here is we are going to create an object called A in the memory, and the location might be, let's just say the location is 6005. Okay, so now remember, when you declare something without initializing it, it will just store a random value. So now let's say we initialize this. We initialize this to A equals to 8. So what will happen now is that A will contain the value of 8. Okay, so now we want to introduce a pointer. So let's say we create a pointer, a int pointer, we call it PA. So what will happen is this will create a new object, PA. This is a pointer object. So since we did not initialize this, so it will just contain a random value. And this pointer, since this is an object that we create in the memory, it will too has an address. So let's say the address is 6006. So remember, now we want to assign a value to PA, but since our object is a pointer, so we have to make sure that we assign an address to our pointer. So we cannot put A here. Why? Because if we put A, it will simply give us the value of A, which is 8. But this is not what we want. We actually want the address of A. So how do we do that? Remember, to get an address of an object or to get an address of a variable, we need to add on the ampersand symbol. So the ampersand would take the address of the said object or of the said variable. So what this will return to us is, it will give us the value of the address of A, which is 6005, and we'll put this address into PA. So now our PA will contain 6005. Okay, and we are going to say that PA is now pointing to A. What do we mean by that? Okay, so now we're going to take a look what do we mean by PA pointing to A. But first, I want to talk about how we can declare, how does the declaration works for pointer. So here we are just declaring one variable, one pointer variable, which is PA. Remember that you can do a one-line declaration. For example, we want to do int A. If we want to declare another int object and we want to call it B, we just separate them by a comma. So comma B, comma C, this one will all create objects of A, B, and C, and they are all of the type int. They are all of the same type int. But what if we want to declare a multiple, more than one pointer variables? You can also do that by use a comma, separate them by a comma, and put here PB, for example. But remember, for each pointer variable, you need to add a star or an asterisk right before the variable name. Okay, so now it's PA, PB, and so if you put another comma and you want to create another pointer, remember to add a star or an asterisk before the variable name. Okay, so but then what if you forgot to add an asterisk or a star? Then PC will just be a normal int variable. It won't be a pointer variable. So this can still this is still acceptable and compilable, but it will just declare PC as a normal int instead of a pointer variable. Okay? Alright, so let's just keep it as PA. And let's go back to our initial pointer arrangement just now. So when we said that PA is pointing to A, okay, so what can we do with the pointer? We can retrieve the value or the value of the object that the pointer is pointing to. So we are saying that PA is pointing to A. Now we can use PA to actually get the value of A. How do we do that? We can use, for example, we have another int variable, call it int B. So now what we want is B to be equal to A, or B can also be equal to the content of PA. Okay, notice that I add an asterisk in front of our pointer here. Do not worry, because I will explain later on what does that mean, what this is supposed to do. Okay, so let's take a look here. All right, so now at this particular line, line 4, we are saying that PA is pointing to A. At line 5, we are creating a new object and call it B. Okay, we call it B, and we assign the value of A to B. Value of A is 8, and we assign it to B. So now B will contain the value of 8. Or we can also say that the next line, line 7, what we do is we want to get the value of PA. That's why we add an asterisk in front of the pointer. So what does the asterisk do is it is going to return the object that PA is pointing to, which is A. And eventually, what is the value of A? The value of A is 8. So we are now assigning 8 to B. Right? So now it will do just the same thing. Even though B now is containing 8, but it will still replace that 8 with another 8. That is actually what's going to happen behind the scene. But here, let's take a look what will happen if we omit the asterisk. Okay, let's imagine that we do not have the asterisk there. So what's going to happen? So PA, when we write PA, it will just give us the value of the value of PA. What is the value of PA? The value of PA is the address 6005. This is an address. So what we are trying to do here now is we are trying to assign this address to B. But remember, B is typed in. B cannot hold an address. B can only hold data type int. Okay, as opposed to PA, PA can hold data type of int pointer. So since we are trying to assign an address, we are trying to store an address to B, where B can only contain int. So this will give us what? Compile error. Okay, we cannot do that. We cannot assign an address to a variable that is not supposed to store an address. Okay, so what do? So we want to avoid getting an address, but we want to get a value. We want to get a value that this pointer is pointing to. So we put asterisk in front of our pointer variable. So this will give us back the object that PA is pointing to. So PA is pointing to A, and A is 8. So we get a value, then we can safely assign this value to B. So basically, that's it. That's how pointer works. Okay? And do not get confused with the asterisk here. Remember when we talk about ampersand, okay, I'm going to erase this. Remember when we talk about ampersand give a different meaning when we use it during declaration and when we use it at the right hand side here. So the difference, I hope you still remember the difference. When we use ampersand, let's just give this a different name, maybe M. Okay, so when we use ampersand during declaration, we are saying that M is supposed to be a different name of an existing object. So we can specify that M should be a different name for what object? Maybe object A. So here, if we already have an object A, okay, so now M going to be a different name for object A. But if we used ampersand on the right hand side, for example, we have here PA. Okay, let's say we have PA here. PA equals to ampersand A. This one is saying that we want to get the address of A. So the address of A, for example, here we have the address of 6005. So this one would give us back 6005. Okay, as simple as that. All right, so now let's take a look at the asterisk. When we use the star or asterisk on the left hand side, for example, now we have int j. Okay, so we put here, or let's just use the example that we have in our code. So we have, let's put this against. Okay, let's take this example. Okay, so we have int PA and we put the asterisk before PA. So here during declaration, asterisk is a way of us to declare a pointer. When we use asterisk here during declaration, it means that we want to declare PA as a pointer variable. But when we use asterisk on the right hand side, like this particular line here, okay, this line. Okay, so let's take it out here. So now we have B equals to PA, but now asterisk is on the right hand side. What this will do is it will give us the object that PA is pointing to. So for example, we have our PA here. So PA is pointing to A. So this will give us back the object of PA, which is the object that PA is pointing to, which is A. Okay, so basically that's the difference between the asterisk on the left hand side and asterisk or star on the right hand side. Also the difference between our ampersand on the left hand side and our ampersand on the right hand side. So it brings different meanings. So you have to be careful you have to understand how you want to use your ampersand and asterisk. All right. Okay, so as usual, if you have any questions or doubts, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. All right. Until then, bye.